Welcome! Today we are going to talk a little bit to you about Isaac Newton's laws of motion and gravity, and their apparent application in the everyday lives of people in society. Due to Newton's laws, the scientific world has advanced significantly further in the ways it understands the universe and its internal workings.
Newton's first law explains that any object that is at rest or in uniform motion will remain in the same state unless an external force is acted upon it. See, in this diagram, the first and second ball will eventually lose its energy due to external factors such as friction and gravity and come to an apparent stop, whereas the last ball, assuming it is in a vacuum and air resistance is nullified, the ball will continuously move in its constant velocity until a force is applied to it, such as friction.
This law can also be applied to the field of car crashes, in which humans who have gained the same velocity as a vehicle will continue to move even if the car has come to a sudden stop. The resistance in a change in motion is commonly known as inertia. Due to this, seatbelts have been implanted into cars, as well as safer headrests in light of the concept in inertia.
Taking this law into our own hands, you can see that our willing test subject accelerates and comes to a sudden halt. The water's inertia prompts it to keep moving in that velocity, hence falling clearly out of the cup. Good thing that wasn't hard.
Moving on to Newton's second law, this law states that a force required to accelerate an object of mass indirectly proportional to the mass itself.
This therefore means that the larger the mass, the greater the force required to move this object. Additionally, the greater the mass and acceleration, the greater the force required to stop it as well. This law of motion is evident in a lot of aspects in our lives. Let's take shopping for example.
Say you decide to go down to the shops for some groceries. With your son. Twins. Triplets even. And every single time the mass of the trolley increases, the greater the force you'll need to keep the trolley moving. Imagine how strong Octomom must be.
Newton's third law describes that for every force there is an equal and opposite force as well. This means that for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Let's see how this can be applied to the art of board breaking.
White belt Damien attempts to break the board, but as you can see, the force that he applied was equally returned to him by the board itself, and additionally from Master Byron holding the board. Let's hope nothing was broken. On the other hand, black belt warrior Vinay applies a greater amount of force which cannot be returned enough by the board, hence breaking the board into two. This law can also be seen in the area of rockets, where the force being propelled downwards by the engine's thrust results in an equal force pushing the rocket in the opposite direction. We have liftoff.
Another way which you can see this law in your life is to get a cup of water. Place a thick card on the top and turn it upside down. The weight of the water pushing downwards is equally met by the pressure of the air outside the cup, thus keeping the card in place. Please don't do this near your computer.
Newton also theorized on the ideas of gravity. Gravity is believed to be the force of attraction. Without gravity, everything would be floating in empty space forever. Gravity occurs between any two masses. The heavier the mass, the greater and stronger gravitational field it has. This is why we stay on Earth, as the Earth is the object that owns the most mass, so everything is attracted to the center of the Earth. Imagine a world without gravity. Amazing, isn't it?
Thanks for watching. We hope you now understand the weird and wacky workings behind various phenomena, such as why seatbelts are in cars, shopping trolleys become harder to push coming out of the shops, why we stay on the ground, and why it's difficult to break a board on the first try.